What's up, Tailgaters? So I just wanted to do a quick PSA before this video starts. I'm going to be doing a live stream a week from today on Memorial Day on predicting the armed forces schedule. So that's going to be Navy, Air Force, and Army. I really encourage you guys to go check it out. It'll probably be around 7:30 or 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I'm really excited. It's going to be my first live stream. I'm really excited. I hope you guys can check it out and enjoy the video. What's up, Tailgaters? My name is Tailgate Nate. Welcome back to my channel. And today we're going to do a little bit of a different video. I'm going to give you my 2020 preseason conference power ranking. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to take the 10 conferences that you're going to find throughout college football, and I am going to rank them from worst to best in terms of just how good they are. I've been putting a lot of thought into this. That's why I've put it off for so long. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to see, you're going to see what I think each conference is worth. And I'll do a little bit of a breakdown of the conferences as well and why they're ranked where they are. All right, so at number 10, or the worst conference, I have the Mid-American Conference. The Mid-American Conference, to me, has some pretty decent teams in it, but when you look at all the teams in the Mid-American Conference, there's not really a team that stands out to you as being above the rest. I know Western Michigan a couple years ago was really, really good, but I don't really see any team in the MAC conference really like exploding out and doing something great this year. I know Ohio's always a pretty decent team. Miami, Ohio is always a pretty decent team. Central Michigan's had its years. Northern Illinois has also had its moments. Toledo's had its moments. There's just not a team that really stands out to me as consistently good or that's going to do that well in the MAC this year. So that's why the Mid-American Conference is at number 10. All right, so number 9 is Conference USA. When you look at Conference USA, it's not really a conference that is all that great, just like the MAC. But I think they do have some better teams than what the Mid-American Conference has. Like they have Florida Atlantic, Western Kentucky has been decent. Louisiana Tech has always been decent. UAB, who recently got their football program back, is pretty decent. So overall, I think Conference USA has some better teams than what the Mid-American Conference has. Although I think Conference USA, again, when you look at it, there's not really a team that stands out to you as a consistent team that's going to dominate the conference every year, or a team that's going to be ranked in the top 25. Again, there are some decent teams that are probably going to go 8-4, 9-3 in this conference. But overall, Conference USA is not that great either. So that's why they're at number 9. At number 8, I have the Sun Belt Conference. So the Sun Belt is number 8 ahead of Conference USA because they have a team that really stands out as a consistent ranked team that's really good every year, and that's App State. App State is why the Sun Belt is at number 8. If App State was not as good, the Sun Belt would definitely be lower because when you look, not a lot of teams that you've heard of, like Coastal Carolina. Well, who's heard of Coastal Carolina? Louisiana Monroe. Who's heard of them? Louisiana Lafayette. But Louisiana Lafayette's pretty good. Monroe has had its moments. Georgia State is fairly decent as well. So the Sun Belt has some pretty decent teams in it, but the reason they're number 8 is because App State is a consistent 10-2, 11-1 team year after year. They're consistently on top of the Sun Belt. So that's why the Sun Belt is at number 8. At number 7, we have the Mountain West. Similar to the Sun Belt, there are a couple teams that stand out amongst the Mountain West, and the one you got to remember is Boise State. Boise State, no matter what year it is a consistent ranked team. They're always there. They're always pretty good. Air Force has been a team that's on the rise as of late. BYU is on the rise as of late as well. Utah State has had some good years in the past. Colorado State is, in my opinion, getting better. So the Mountain West is overall not a very bad conference. They're not an elite conference, but they're not a terrible conference nonetheless. As I mentioned, Boise State is a big reason why the Mountain West is up this high, because Boise State is overall the best team in the Mountain West year in and year out. Hawaii has also had its up and down years. Hawaii is a fairly decent team. So there are a lot of good, decent teams in the Mountain West, and the Mountain West has a lot of teams that make a bowl game every single year. And this is why the Mountain West is at number 7. All right, coming at number 6, we have the American Athletic, and this is by far the best group of 5 conference. The best group of 5 conference is the American Athletic, hands down. UCF, been really good for the past couple years, and I think UCF could get back on top of the group of 5 Mountain this year. Of course, Cincinnati's been really good as of late. Memphis has been good as of late. We'll see if that changes up this year with the head coaching change. Of course, Mike Norvell is leaving. South Florida has been good for a couple of years. And then you've had teams that are always really decent, like Temple's always really decent. Navy is pretty good in and of itself. Navy's on the rise as well. So the American Athletic, far and away the best group of 5 conference. They just have teams that the American Athletic has teams that make a New Year's Six Bowl every single year. I know Boise State made one a couple years ago, but other than that, it's been the American Athletic who's made the New Year's Six Bowl game. Again, Western Michigan a couple years ago, but teams like Cincinnati, Memphis have made New Year's Six Bowl game and have competed for New Year's Six Bowl games. So that's why the American Athletic is at number 6. All right, now we're going to get into the Power 5 conferences. And at number 5, I have the Pac-12. It was really close for me between the Pac-12 and the conference that you're going to see coming up at number 4. But I put the Pac-12 at 5 because this year in 2020, the Pac-12 is going to have fewer contenders than the conference above it. And Oregon, USC being the 2 contenders. Arizona State could improve this year. Of course, Utah is always there. They might still be pretty good. Of course, they're losing their 2 pieces in Brett Hundley, Zach Moss, but the Pac-12 is still going to be fairly decent. Colorado, Cal, all these teams are really decent. The Pac-12 has a lot of teams that make a bowl game every year. Washington State. But the Pac-12 is at 5 because they do not have as many contenders as the conference that is at number 4. And the conference at number 4 is the Big 12. So as I mentioned, the Pac-12 has 2 contenders in my opinion, and that's Oregon and USC this year. This year, I think the Big 12 has 3, maybe a sneaky 4th. The 3 to me are Oklahoma, Texas, and Oklahoma State. And then the sneaky 4th is Iowa State. Maybe Baylor can also surprise some people. Why I also put Big 12 at number 4 is it only has 10 teams, I know, but that means that everybody plays everybody. So the Big 12 is really competitive year in and year out. You get to see everyone play everyone. So you really do get a feel of how teams match up against each other. And it's really easy to decipher, well, who's pretty decent, who's not all that great in the Big 12. So this is why the Big 12 is at number 4. At number 3, we have the ACC, or the Atlantic Coast Conference. So the ACC to me is at number 3 because I think the ACC is going to get better this year. If it were last year, I probably would put the ACC at number 4, maybe even number 5. But this year, I think the ACC is really going to step it up. Of course, you have Clemson. Everyone knows that. But then when you look at who else they have, well, North Carolina is supposed to be really good this year. Virginia could possibly be back. I think Pitt is a really decent team. You have Florida State, who's going to improve this year with Mike Norvell. You have Virginia Tech, who's also going to be really good this year. So the ACC has taken a step up in its competition. And I think Clemson has a lock on the ACC right now, but I think there are a couple other teams that can make the ACC race very interesting this year. And this is why the ACC is at number 3. And then at number 2, it's the Big Ten Conference. Of course, you know now the conference that's at number 1. But let me tell you why the Big Ten is number 2 and not number 1. Big Ten is number 2 because they have really good teams year in and year out. Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota's a new one that gets up there. Iowa's proved to be a consistent 8-4, 9-3 team. And even teams like Indiana's getting better, Illinois is getting better, Purdue's getting better, Rutgers is getting Greg Schiano back. They're going to be better. I think the only team that's going to really take a step back in 2020 is Michigan State. I think that's really the only team that's going to take a step back. Michigan State might not even make a bowl game with new head coach Mel Tucker, but you're going to have to give them some time. But the Big Ten overall is a conference that's only improving. Of course, Minnesota also getting better. Nebraska is supposed to be getting better this year. So Big Ten getting really better. But the reason they're not as number 1, because at number 1 is the SEC, and I think you all saw this coming. The reason the SEC is at number 1 is, in my poll, I think they have 7 or 8 top 25 teams, which is absolutely insane. And the SEC is going to be so competitive this year. Alabama, Auburn, LSU, Texas A&M, Georgia, Florida, all of these teams. South Carolina is going to get better. I think Arkansas is going to get a little bit better. Teams like Missouri are pretty decent. I think the only down team in the SEC this year is probably going to be Vanderbilt. Ole Miss, Mississippi State are getting new head coaches. Southeastern Conference is going to be really, really competitive this year. This is why they're at number 1. I think in recent years, it's been really close between the SEC and the Big Ten. But this year in 2020, I think the SEC is going to be the best conference in all of college football. All right, so there you have it, my 2020 preseason conference power rankings. Also, a heads up, you're probably going to hear this at the start of the video as well, but I'm going to be doing a live stream a week from today on Memorial Day. I'm going to be predicting the records of Navy, Air Force, and Army. So I really encourage you guys to go check it out. It'll probably be at 7:30 or 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So convert that to whatever in your time zone. I really encourage you guys to go check it out. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Also, since it's the end of the video, please do leave a like if you enjoyed. Also, if you're brand new to the channel or just enjoy the content that I put out, please consider subscribing. And if you haven't done so already, leave a comment down below. What's your conference power rankings? What's a team that maybe you think could surprise me in every conference this year? I think I'll do a video on that later as well. Give me your thoughts in the comments down below. I read through every single one. It means a lot to me when I see you guys comment on my stuff. And until next time, play hard, but tailgate harder. I'll see y'all in the next video. Goodbye.